Hello everybody, welcome to Awesome Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 80,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so your subscription will be much appreciated. Also drop a like, it only takes 1 second and it makes a massive difference. And go subscribe to my main channel if for whatever reason you are subscribed here and not subscribed to that one, as I'm trying to hit 200k over there. I'm just going to read you Adrian Wojnarowski's timeline on Twitter. Minnesota's Josh Okogie joins Anthony Edwards and Taurean Prince in protocols. 5 additional players beyond Allen in Cavaliers protocols now: Lamar Stevens, Dylan Windler, Denzel Valentine, and RJ Nembhard. I'm not sure who that is, sorry. Jared Allen, another guy who made it, obviously. New Orleans versus Philadelphia has been postponed. Let's see here. Brooklyn versus Denver has been postponed. The NBA is postponing Wizards Nets on Tuesday as well. The Sixers have added Drummond and Shake Milton to health and safety protocols. They join Georges Niang. Cleveland, Atlanta is the NBA's 3rd postponement this season. Chicago had games with Toronto and Detroit postponed last week. Yeah, where else is here? Jared Allen, Trae Young put under health and safety protocols. The Cleveland Cavaliers had an outbreak on their roster, and fear exists that they will struggle to have the league's minimum 8 players available to play versus Atlanta, and that game ended up getting closed. Trae Young, as I mentioned, he went out with health and safety protocols. Nets say rookie Day'Ron Sharpe has entered health and safety protocols, and this all happened in the last 24 hours, and that's the Day'Ron Sharpe thing. So from Trae Young onward, it's in the last 6 hours. Dropping like flies. These players are being announced going into health and safety protocols like Woj on draft night, giving away what the draft pick is going to be. So this is insane. The NBA is on fire right now. As I mentioned, what was that? That was 1, 2, 3 different games that were postponed on top of the Bulls games that were postponed earlier this week. Luckily, the Bulls are playing their first game in a week today versus the Lakers. Yeah, that's a lot of shit going on right now. It feels like we're just watching the league fall apart, and it's getting really, really ridiculous. If you cannot tell from how much I'm having to cut, I have a sore underneath my tongue, which means that I have to just go through pain to actually record these videos. So drop a damn like while you're here. But seriously, Anthony Edwards is a player I'd mentioned earlier. He's in health and safety protocols. I'm damn near surprised that if I fucking refresh that I don't get a new update of a health and safety protocol. So this is a problem. And everyone and their mother has essentially said that the NBA, it seems like they're waiting until Christmas Day games to happen before they postpone the season, because obviously Christmas Day is a big day for them because they have a ton of games going on. For a lot of people, that's a part of their Christmas tradition, myself included. But at this point, we're going to be watching teams that are not NBA teams out there. Like, look at this starting lineup that the Milwaukee Bucks put out there the other day. Jay Smart, I can't remember what his first name is. George Hill, Jordan Nwora. I'm not even going to try and pronounce their power forward's name. I know who it is, but it's like a really, really complicated name. And DeMarcus Cousins. That's who the Bucks started the other day. And the Pacers starting lineup was not all that much better. So this is looking like the Christmas Day games are going to be a bunch of fucking teams that are not even really their teams. It's just a bunch of hardship exception players or guys who would be third stringers otherwise being in the starting lineup playing 20 plus minutes. There's people making jokes about how teams' benches look like those 2K generated players, just like a full bench of generated players. The NBA keeps insisting on these rules where they're allowing they're making it to where instead of postponing games, let's just give teams 40 roster spots so they can keep signing hardship exception players. And not only that, there's apparently a report that soon the NBA is going to have asymptomatic players actually playing in games, which It's not really how it works. Even if those players are not experiencing symptoms, it's not symptoms. It's not a guarantee that players who they spread it to will not experience symptoms. I understand at a certain point when we have such a large vaccination rate, it's going to end up just becoming like a cold where it's just something you kind of have to deal with. COVID's going, fuck, I said it. Hopefully I don't get censored by YouTube. The virus is going to exist forever. It's just a different context in which it will exist when there's herd immunity. But we're not there yet, and this is going to mean that more players have it. Again, the case of like Jason Tatum, the guy has to use an inhaler now because he had the virus. And I understand the circumstances are not as drastic when everyone's vaccinated, but at the end of the day, not only is that going to affect the players can spread it to fans, and you can spread it to staff. It's not a good idea. And the NBA seems to insist on any rule possible that does not result in stoppage of play. They will do anything but stop the play. And I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. Like, this can't keep happening the way that it is. It's just ridiculous. The NBA is falling apart at its seams right now. And I've seen multiple tweets, and I realize this is why I've been not wanting to watch games lately. It's not really fun to watch all these teams where a bunch of players who otherwise wouldn't be playing, or like watching fucking G League teams out there. A lot of people are saying it's not a fun time to be an NBA fan right now, not because just these players are going down, but teams are not their teams right now. Like, we're watching, like, a fucking Dom 2K made a joke about like a video that was like, I don't know if it was his or someone else's, that was simulating to like 2099. And it was like the NBA in 2099. It was a bunch of players you never heard of. It's like, that's just what it is now, because so many teams have their best players out, or if it's not their best players, they have a lot of players out. It's just insane. And on the positive end of things, a lot of players are getting jobs that they otherwise would not have. I'm sure Alfonso McKinney is not complaining about the fact that he just got another NBA contract. Same for Stanley Johnson with the Bulls. Isaiah Thomas with the Lakers, that's the whole reason he's there, is hardship exception. But at the end of the day, this is a very not good situation, and it has me concerned for the future, because if the NBA is going to keep putting this shit off, and if they're potentially even going to have players asymptomatic playing, either things are going to shut down, or they're going to be in a situation where they absolutely should be, and they're just not. Honestly, it's a situation where it should be right now, but it seems like they're only going to wait for things to get worse and worse and worse before they actually ponder doing something like that. The situation is insane. Every day I'm waking up, like, Funky Diabetic just tweeted, who's in the NBA right now? So yeah, it's insane. I don't even know the total number of players that are in it at this point, and it's constantly fucking updating. So yeah, it's ridiculous. I kind of feel like this whole video is me just saying it's ridiculous. I'm genuinely looking for my fucking timeline for more players to go out. I know Jordan Poole just recently went out with it. It's everybody in the fucking league. Russell Westbrook had it, and then I guess he didn't. I don't know what's going on with the Lakers, where they keep having players out, and then never mind, he's actually fine, because it happened with LeBron, it happened with Russell Westbrook. Or maybe they just had him go out there and play asymptomatic. There was no actual fucking specification on that. The league's on fire, and I'm rather concerned. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have much else to say. Let me just check his Twitter one more time. Anybody else breaking out? Nope, doesn't appear so. Oh, also, there was the NBA announcing that they have some plans going forward with the NBA Players Association to change how testing is going. That was reported recently, but I don't understand the specifics of it. So there's also that, but multiple games postponed, tons of players and healthy safety protocols. Feels like the entire league is falling apart, and good thing this is my job, because it's a fucking nightmare right now. I really wish that this pandemic didn't exist. I realize that that's like fucking obviously, but it's like, I just want to talk about basketball here. I don't want to talk about this shit, but here we are. It's part of it. So yeah, goodbye.